This series of videos will be on Section 2.3, Systems of Linear Equations in Two Variables from College Algebra in Context. We'll demonstrate solving systems of linear equations graphically, solving systems of linear equations algebraically with the substitution method and with the elimination method, modeling systems of equations to solve problems, and determine if a system of linear equations is inconsistent or dependent. A system of linear equations is the collection of one or more equations, each with one or more variables. The solution to a system equation consists of values of the variables that are solutions to each equation of the system. We solve a system equation means to find all solutions to the system. And if we have a system of two equations, we'll have both an x and a y, two variables to find. A system of three equations would have three different letters, maybe x, y, and z, to find the value of all those variables. A company is said to break even. That means no profit, no loss, when the total revenue equals the total cost. That is, when the revenue equals the cost, or if the profit equals zero. Profit equals zero. So suppose a company has a total revenue for a product given by R equals 5,585x, and its total cost given by C equals 61,740 plus 440x, where x is the number of tons of the product that is produced and sold each year. A company is said to break even when the total revenue equals the total cost, that is, the revenue equals cost. Find the number of thousands of tons of this product that give break even and how much the revenue and costs are for that level of production. We will solve this equation graphically. And what we'll do for that is the break-even of this product. My x equation here is my R equals 5,585x. And my cost, this would be the cost equation, equals the 61,740 plus 440x. So that's the two equations, and where they cross right here is the solution. It gives both an x and a y value. We have found that on the calculator. Again, this is the cost equation, and this is the revenue equation. So where they are equal, we'll find out that if 12,000 tons of the product are sold, and then the revenue, the cost and revenue would both equal $67,020. So that's solving a system graphically. Here's a situation. An artist wants to sell her homemade craft angels online. She estimates her material costs for each angel at $3.50. The online merchant craftmall.com charges $14.95 per month fee for a premier account featuring up to 25 products. Comparing her craft to similar crafts on the market, she estimates she can sell this craft angel for $9.95. How many angels will she have to sell each month to break even? Well, first let's go with her revenue. Her revenue will be the $9.95 times x. That's how much money she takes in, and she gets that amount for each angel she sells. Now, the costs each month, it costs her $3.50 to make each of those angels, so $3.50 plus the $14.95 that the website cost. So the equation becomes the $9.95x equals $3.50 x plus the $14.95. Solving this equation, we'll subtract the 350x from each side, and we'll get 645x equals 1495. And when they divide by this 6 and 45 hundredths, x turns out to be 2.317 to 3 decimal places. Well, you can't sell part of an angel. People aren't going to be happy with just that part. So she is going to have to sell 3 angels to break even. She may even have a little bit of a profit from that. So same problem again. At that production level, what will her production cost, her revenue, and her profit? Well, her production costs, we had the cost equals 350 times the 3 angels plus the 1495. So that means we'll have 1050 plus the 1495, or the costs will be $25.45. The revenue will be taking the 995 times a 3. That will mean that the revenue will be $29.85. So the profit then will equal the $29.85 minus the $25.45, or her profit will be $4.40 for selling those 3 angels. First, we have some terms to learn. For market equilibrium, demand is the quantity of a product that is demanded by the customers. It's how many people want to buy. The supply is how many of those things you have to sell. The surplus, if the price results in more units being supplied than demanded. When you have extra left over, people don't want to buy them at that price. A shortfall is that the price results in fewer units being supplied than demanded. You have back orders, you have a wait for them. Market equilibrium is when the supply quantity equals the demand. The method is to solve by substitution. One equation is solved for a variable, and that variable is replaced by the equivalent expression in the other. So one equation solved, and then you replace that in the other equation. We'll show an example of that. To solve systems equations by substitution, you solve one of the equations for one of the variables in terms of the other variable. Then you substitute that into the other equation, gives you one variable, solve that linear equation for that one variable, substitute that solution into the first equation, and you'll end up with both solutions. And check your solution in both original equations or graphically.